Hi, I'm Clay Wimberley, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the M-9 Wimberley head bracket module. And what I'm going to be focusing on in this video is some of the other applications that you can use this module for. It's originally intended to create a bracket for the that's dedicated for the Wimberley head, but it's actually a very versatile module that you can do other stuff with. So that's what I'm going to go over. So first, let me just show you the normal use of this module. It's called Module 9, and normally it's attached to a tilt arm like this. That's a Module 3 that I'm attaching it to. And those two together form what is called the F9 Wimberley Head Version II bracket. Kind of a mouthful. But it's a bracket that will go right on your Wimberley Head Version II. So what you do is the bottom part of the bracket folds 90 degrees, and once you've oriented it like that, it just slips right onto the dovetail of your Wimberley head, and you have a bracket. You have your lens on here and a bracket to put your flash over the lens that stays in place when you rotate the lens. The flash always stays above the lens. Now the key thing about this module is that because it rotates 90 degrees, actually rotates 180 degrees. So the first thing that I can say about this is you can mount it on either side of the arm of the Wimberley head. So you can put it on like this, or you can flip it like that and put it on. So that just gives you a little bit, so you basically allows you to have the upright of the bracket in front of the arm or in back of the arm. And depending on what your style is, if you have your lens here, and if you like to lay your hand on top, it might be nicer to have the bracket, the upright on one side or the other, so it doesn't interfere with your hand that you're focusing with and that sort of thing. So it can go on like that, or like that. Now, the other thing that's nice about this, because the way that it's made, there's a little dovetail. Not only is there a dovetail on the side of the bracket, or on both sides of the bracket, that allow you to use it on both sides. There's also a little dovetail on the bottom of the bracket, which means that when you orient the bracket like this, it'll grab a plate like that. Okay. Now that didn't have a lot of use on the Wimberley head, but what it means is that you can use this bracket as a sidekick bracket, or as a bracket for any side-mounted head. So let me show you that. Alright, so here I have a sidekick. I've got a lens plate in here. There's no lens, but I just have the plate in here just to demonstrate this. And this is the same, the Wimberley head bracket right here with the Module 9 on the bottom. And with the Wimberley head, we are attaching it like this with the bottom quick release perpendicular to the upright. But if you rotate it so that it's now parallel with the upright, it goes right on your lens plate for use with the sidekick. Now with your lens mounted sideways and a side mount head, the flash is in the right orientation. So it's versatile. You can use it for the Wimberley head, or for the sidekick, or for any side mounted gimbal head, such as we have a new side mount Wimberley head, which is basically the Wimberley head, the main components of the Wimberley head, but with the side mounted quick release like the sidekick. So this bracket will work with that side mounted head as well as with the full Wimberley head. Okay, so that's how it works with these two different types of heads. And then there's quite a few other uses for this module, because it allows you to mount it on a plate in either orientation, this way or this way. So let me just give you a few examples. Okay, let's say you're hand holding a lens. This is a 70 to 200. So if you're hand holding a lens this size, maybe a 300 f4, something like that, and you want to use some flash while you're shooting birds at the shore or something like that, you can use this Wimberley head bracket, which has the Module 9 on it. You can orient it in sort of the sidekick position. Stick it right on your lens plate like that, put your lens plate to the side, and then you've got a good bracket for hand holding. That's a nice compact bracket to get your foot out of the way so you can cradle the lens. So that's a useful use for it. Then also, if you've already had one of these brackets or you already have this module 9 right here, you can use this. Once it's in this straightened position, it's pretty useful to attach it to your camera body. Actually, in either way, it'll attach to your camera body. So here we have a lens that doesn't have a collar on it, and you can attach this coming straight out like so, and you can attach our module 2 to it from there. You can see that goes right on there, and you have I'll go ahead and fasten it. And now you have a macro bracket that you can use for macro work. So normally our macro bracket would be this module 2 plus a module 1. But if you already have this module 9, all you have to get is the module 2, and you can form this macro bracket. You can also attach 2 module 2s to the module 9, so you can have one coming out each side, and that works best if you have a big camera that has a battery pack on it, because you need a little clearance under the lens. If you've got a smaller camera like this one, putting 2 brackets on here can be kind of tight, and depending on what lens you have, it might not allow it. Now you can also attach this using the other orientation like this, bending it 90 degrees. You can put it on the camera body plate like that, so you could have your macro bracket coming out here. You could definitely attach 2 macro arms to this side, although maybe you wouldn't be able to get your flash far enough this way, but this is useful. You can also let's see, I don't have one of these, and actually I said this was a module 2. This is actually a module 4. So hopefully I didn't confuse anybody, but this macro arm is a module 4. If you want to make a bracket that comes up all the way around your camera, you can add a module 2, which comes up here, and a module 3, which comes up on the top. You have a bracket that goes on the top. And if you have an L bracket on your camera, let me see. We don't sell L brackets, but you can get one from Really Right Stuff or Kirk Enterprises. And if you've got an L bracket, you can attach this flash bracket right to this portion of the L bracket. And really, it's just like you're attaching it to the Wimberley head. Okay, so that could go right on your L bracket like this. You have a flash over top of your camera. Now, it's an issue. It's not going to, the flash is always going to be right here. So when you shoot in portrait, the flash is going to be off to the side. But we do have a module. This is module 7. It's called the flash flipper. And that can go right on there. So now you've got, with a pretty simple bracket, your flash is going to be here. When you tilt here, you flip it up here, and your flash is going to still be above the camera like that. So if you've got an L bracket, this is a pretty compact bracket that's sort of a wedding photography bracket. That's pretty easy to use and easy to, and if you already have this module, or particularly if you already have the Wimberley head bracket, all you need to add is this module 7 if you have an L plate, and you get this bracket. So that's about it. But that gives you an idea of how versatile the module 9 is, and that you can use it for a lot of things other than just putting a flash on your Wimberley head.